The woman who destroyed my life just texted me 2 weeks before my wedding. So I'm Jasper and I'm getting married in 2 weeks to Julia, a corporate attorney who's brilliant and confident. But 3 days ago, my ex-fiancée Ellie sent me a text out of nowhere. Just seeing her name made my chest tight. Jasper, I need to see you one last time. Everything isn't what you think. I haven't heard from this woman in 6 years. Not a single word. 6 years ago, Ellie and I were supposed to get married. Everything was ready. Venue paid for, suit hanging in the closet, families flying in. We'd been together 4 years. The night before our wedding, I forgot to pick up the backup ring from our apartment. I used my key to get in around 10 p.m. I walked toward our bedroom and heard her laugh. This breathy, intimate sound I thought was just for me. I opened the door. Ellie was in our bed with my half-brother Victor. This wasn't the first time. I could see it in their faces. Not just shock, but resignation. I didn't yell. I just stood there. Ellie pulled the sheet up crying and said the one thing I'll never forget. Jasper, I'm so sorry, but I never wanted to marry you. I wanted him. I've always wanted him. The wedding was tomorrow, and she was telling me I was never supposed to be the groom. I left. By midnight, I'd canceled everything. By 2 a.m., I'd emailed everyone. By noon the next day, I was driving 3 hours away to start a business with a college buddy. I never spoke to Ellie again. Blocked her on everything. Cut Victor out completely. The first year was hell. I worked 18-hour days because when I stopped working, I started thinking. But by year 2, things clicked. Our construction software solved real problems. By year 3, we made the state's fastest growing companies list. By year 4, I'd bought out my partner. That's when I met Julia. She was representing a client against my company. Fierce in that conference room. I asked her to dinner. She said no. I asked again 2 weeks later. She said no again. Third time, she said yes. 2 years later, I proposed. Then Ellie's text showed up. I showed Julia, expecting her to say delete it. Instead, she said, if you're going to meet her on your terms. Close that door properly. So I texted back, I'll meet you tomorrow 7 p.m. at the Edison Lounge. Come alone. Public place. Know where we used to go. What I didn't tell her, Julia insisted on coming. I'm your future and she needs to see that clearly. We showed up at 6:45. Julia in a charcoal suit. We took a corner booth. Ellie arrived at 7:03. I barely recognized her. She looked diminished. 6 years ago, she was confident, vibrant. Now she looked like she'd aged a decade. No rings. Her eyes had this desperate, hollow look. She saw me then, Julia. Her face fell. Jasper, I didn't realize you'd bring other people. You said you needed to talk. So talk. This is Julia, my fiancée. Ellie looked at her and something crumbled. Could we talk privately? No. Whatever you have to say it here. She sat down, tears forming. Jasper, I know what I did was unforgivable, but I don't have time for this. Tell me what you came to tell me. Victor and I, it wasn't supposed to. Do not tell me it just happened. I saw wine glasses. You were having a date night in our apartment. You're right. It had been going on 3 months, but you have to understand. I don't have to understand anything. You betrayed me with my own brother while planning to marry me. I know what I did and I've paid for it. God, have I paid. Julia spoke up. Paid for it how? By facing consequences? Ellie shot her a look. Victor left me after everything blew up. I lost my job. Friends took your side. My parents barely speak to me. Hearing that, I felt nothing. No satisfaction. Just hollow. And what does that have to do with me? I've spent 6 years regretting it. I've been in therapy. I just needed you to know I'm sorry. You hope what? Julia interrupted. That he'll forgive you so you feel better? I wanted closure. No, you wanted absolution. You want him to tell you it's okay. That's not his job. I put my hand on Julia's. You want me to make you feel less guilty, but I can't do that. What you did changed everything. I rebuilt from scratch. Honestly, I'm better for it. The life I have, the business, the woman I'm marrying, none of that would exist if you hadn't done what you did. So you're glad it happened? I'm saying I've moved on completely. I don't think about you. I don't wonder what if. You're nothing to me now. Jasper, please. Thank you for coming. I needed to see you to realize how over this I am. This is goodbye, Ellie. Julia stood beside me. From this point forward, you do not contact Jasper again. Not for closure, not for apologies, not for anything. We're getting married in 10 days. Are we clear? Ellie nodded, tears streaming. We left her there. An hour later, I got a text from an unknown number. Victor, I heard you met with Ellie. We should talk too. I blocked him immediately.